Yo, that happened in real life.
Y'all
Y'all like my Biggie voice? Hey, comment below if y'all like my Biggie voice. I ain't even been working on it. They were just off the fly.
I think that these reviews are really going to give people who don't know Ashes a little insight on Ashes.
What do you mean?
You know, I'm white.
Oh, cut! So
Key Sweat. Oh, sorry.
All right, we're gonna make that last forever. Now,
hola, mi amores. Mwah.
I don't have no hype opening, guys. I'm just gonna do my salute, and I'm gonna say how y'all doing this evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time you're viewing this. How are you doing?
So we're back.
Did you miss us?
Just a little bit, a lot of it.
Smid.
We're hoping a lot of it.
I hope so too. We appreciate the love on that last video. Y'all really liked that video. I appreciate that. You know.
It didn't turn out to be 20 questions. It was only like 16 questions.
But we wrote the disclaimer in the description below that other video. Matter of fact, if you haven't seen that video, go watch it.
I ain't gonna tell you who won, but you know what I'm saying.
Anyway, go watch the video. It's a dope video. It's a real good video, guys. Trust me on that.
So, tonight, got a couple of reviews for you.
Yep, we back with reviews, guys. We back. We are back.
I think that these reviews are really going to give people who don't know Ashes a little insight on Ashes.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, I'm white.
Oh, cut! Hear this now. Why y'all ain't tell me that? Jesus.
And that's the thing. Like, for people who don't know me, they'll see me and they'll be like, "Ooh, she's trying to act black." However, acting black is. But
message. Just like when black people go through it, we acting white, talking white. I don't know what that is.
Did you ever experience that?
Of course I did. I don't know if I want to get to it on this video, because that's a real talk video, and I'm gonna get raw on that part. Real. Because it's self-hate. It's coming from my own people. But that's a different story. The movies, well, one was a movie, one was a documentary.
Was it a documentary? Oh, it was a documentary.
Yes, it was. So we're going to get into that doc first, you know, and then we're going to get to the movie last. Is that cool, baby? Roll like that?
Follow me. Let's do it.
Cool. Let's get into it.
Do it.
So, guys, one thing you're going to learn about moi is I'm a big, huge hip-hop fan. Huge hip-hop head, guys. So she's like hip-hop too, but she's more of the R&B. You know, she's 90s R&B. You know, that's
all day.
That's her thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm hip-hop.
Put on some Key Sweat. Oh, sorry.
All right, we're gonna make that last forever. Now,
I see what you did there. Good job.
You see what I did there? Anyway, stop. So listen, guys. We watched the documentary last night. It was the Biggie documentary. I got a story to tell, which is also one of Biggie's songs. And if you're a hip hop head, as long as I've been one, it's like, okay, when you first heard it, you were like, oh my God, another hip hop documentary about Biggie, which is probably going to spend 3/4 of it about him and Pac, you know, beef. And I was like, I really don't want to watch another Biggie documentary. No disrespect. But it's like, I feel like I've seen everything I can see about a Biggie documentary.
And I'm not even a big hip hop head like that, but I felt the same way. And to be completely honest, I 100% expected Pac to make an appearance way sooner than when he actually came up in the storyline.
Right. And I understand they're always going to be intertwined together. How many angles can I see that same beef, you know? And it was just tiring. So it took me about a week, almost 2 weeks to watch it, you know, till I seen reviews and I seen little clippings of it. And I'm like, oh, it's different. They did real well with humanizing him, if that makes sense. You know, he's not shown as this big grand rapper, king of New York. You know, they had that in there, but it showed him. He was a kid. He was like a kid. He was really a kid, you know. He passed away when he was, what, 23, 24?
I didn't realize he was that young.
Yeah, he was real young. You know, that's still a child in my eye. You know, you're 24, you still learning the world, you know, but he accomplished so much that you forget. But rewind a little bit. what I meant by the humanizing, it showed rare footage that no one has ever seen before.
I pause on that note because I thought it was so dope. What was his name? D-Roc?
Yeah, D-Roc.
So apparently they made it a thing to just like pick up this huge camcorder, you know, and walk around and like record their day. So ultimately it was like they were YouTubing before YouTube was even YouTube.
This was like 94, 95. No one was thinking about picking up a heavy camcorder and just filming everything on tour, every performance, every interview. He just had footage, you know. He didn't know what he was going to do with it. He just kept it. He kept it for over 20 years, almost 30 years. That's a lot.
And that takes a lot to be able to keep up with that type of stuff and keep it in condition where you can pull the footage.
Exactly.
That's a lot. And shout out to him.
Yes. So that alone got me, because it opened up with footage no one's ever seen before, you know. So that kind of like keeps you going, and then it was a good storyline. Then you remember the music, and you see Biggie, and you see a playful side of Biggie, you know, like you really see the child side of him, like from he was a little bitty kid, like what, 7, 8, you know, to when he was like 12, 13, you know. It was a real dope timeline. It was a real dope experience to see that side, especially all the Biggie documentaries that I've seen. That was real good to see, you know.
I really liked how it kind of followed his progression through life. Like it really showed how he was, you know, this kid going through this struggle, being raised by a single mom, you know, and just really trying to find his footing. And then also kind of, I really enjoyed how it pointed out that, you know, here he was with all this opportunity in his lap, but at the same time, he didn't trust it. You know, he had been through so much that he didn't want to get his feelings or his hopes up. And so even though he had this opportunity to go on and be this, you know, music guru, he ended up, he still had his hands in the streets. And I just really thought, I really appreciated how it followed him through that path and really showed his life turning around. It's so tragic that it ended when it did. Like, can you imagine if he was still here?
That's a question everyone has asked at least 1 billion times. And if you ever seen the movie Notorious, they had a lot of scenes from that movie actually happen in real life. You know, things that we didn't know. Because I just thought it was made up for the TV, you know, the Hollywood version. But a lot of stuff in the movie was real, like his mom throwing away the mashed potatoes. You know, we all know that infamous scene in that movie that she found under the bed. And we all know what they were. You know, I'm not going to say it because I don't, you know, whatever. But she threw it. That happened in real life. When he had his first daughter, I think her name was Tiana, brought her home to the mom, put her in the crib, and the mom just started crying. And Biggie was like, "What's wrong, Mom? She ain't that ugly." You know, that happened for real. No, that happened in real life. Y'all like my Biggie voice? Hey, comment below if y'all like my Biggie voice. I ain't even been working on it. They were just off the fly. You know what I'm saying? They were just off the fly. Wait, that was more Rick Ross.
But that little girl does look just like him. She did anyway. I don't know what she looks like today, but she looked just like him. Yep.
And it showed her. It showed a short scene with Chris, his son, that was born, you know, when he was a baby, super young baby, you know. I want to say his son played him as a kid in the movie Notorious.
Yeah, I remember that now.
If I remember correctly, I think that's him. So, guys, long story short, it's a great documentary. Don't think it's your run-of-the-mill Biggie documentary. It was real good. It did touch on the Pac thing a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Didn't stay on it, thank God, because I'm so tired of hearing that. I recommend it.
How long was the documentary?
The documentary, it was probably about an hour and maybe 30, if that long. Hour and 15, hour 20, something like that. It's not long. It's real, and you won't even notice because it keeps you going. It keeps you going. It's a real good documentary. It carries itself. There's no dull moments. It's no moments where it's like, you can kind of fast forward this. No, it's a real good documentary. I give it a 10 out of 10. It was a dope documentary. Good job, Netflix. Good job, Puffy. Good job, D-Roc.
I concur. I like how it came with the different footage, the never before seen, you know, never before seen scenes.
I know what you mean.
It was dope.
And it was taking a risk on my end because it's like, regardless of not, I was going to like it or enjoy it because I'm a hip-hop head, but her not being the biggest hip-hop head and she stuck through it, you know, that says a lot about the documentary itself. you know, because you see another side of Biggie. That's what I love. You know, it's not this, like I said earlier in the video, it's not this big grand Biggie, you know, hypnotized, just the king. You know, it was like, no, this is Christopher. Watch the documentary, y'all get it. Y'all already know his mom never called him anything but Christopher, not even Chris. It was Christopher. You know? To this day, facts. She was hilarious on the documentary. Shout out to Mom. She was hilarious. And then Miss Wallace, that's what everybody called her. Everybody called her Miss Wallace. She was funny.
Yeah, definitely go watch it.
For sure. We give it a 10. 10.
10.
For sure.
That means on average it's a 10.
Factual.
So yeah, go watch.
Most definitely.